Many beginners hear the term chord progression, but aren't really sure how to use them to actually begin playing songs. In this video, I'll explain why they're so important, three of the most common progressions used across multiple genres, and how to begin practicing them. I'm Michael Sherman, and I help beginners learn chord-based piano so you can play and sing your favorite songs with confidence. If you were to look up chord progression in one of the big three music dictionaries, like Grove, Harvard, or Oxford, you'd probably find a definition full of terms like harmonic rhythm, tension and resolution, and voice leading principles. This might make sense to some of you and leave others completely confused. So let's simplify it. A chord progression is simply the order in which you play a series of chords. Think of it like a recipe. The same ingredients, chords, arranged in a certain order, create a specific feeling. Most songs use a handful of chords arranged into different progressions for different sections. A verse might use one progression, a chorus another, and the bridge something completely different. Each section takes you somewhere new emotionally, and together they create the complete journey of the song. I think it's important to learn to think in chord progressions for three main reasons. First, it makes songs much easier to learn, organize, and memorize. If you're trying to remember every chord of a song individually, that's like trying to memorize a speech word for word instead of thinking in complete sentences and ideas. When you understand the progression, the music starts to make sense logically instead of feeling random. I have songs that I haven't played for months, sometimes even a year, and I can still sit down and play them because I remember the progressions. Second, thinking in progressions makes it easier to play in different keys. If you're just thinking C, then G, then F, then that's all you can play. When you understand the progression itself, you can move it anywhere into any other key. And this becomes especially important if you want to accompany singers or play with other musicians because keys change all the time, sometimes on the spot. And third, chord progressions are the language that musicians use to communicate professionally. If you play in a band or with musicians, someone might call out a progression like 1-6-2-5-1 in B flat, and you're expected to follow along. So understanding progressions helps you to communicate musically with confidence. All right, let's take a look at three of the most common progressions. First up is the 1-4-5. For each progression we look at, I'm going to have a list pop up on the screen with 10 of the most popular songs that use this progression. And I'll play a couple examples from each one just so you can hear how it sounds. So with the 1-4-5, the three examples that I choose, you're going to notice that they're just scrambled up in a different order. So let's start with Tom Petty's Free Falling, and his goes 1-4-1-5. Right. Second example, let's take a look at Sweet Home Alabama. Now this one goes in reverse. Instead of 1-4-5, it's 5-4-1. And for our third example, let's look at Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses. This one goes 1-5-4. Okay, now let's move on to the second progression, which is 1, 6, 4, 5. Here's another list with 10 more songs. You can see that we'll use the same progression. First example I'm going to play is Ed Sheeran's Perfect. One thing I like about that example is, again, one of those elements, it's a different time signature. That one's in 12/8, and it has that constant, steady eighth note feel. Second up is All of Me by John Legend. So that just uses nice melodic broken up chords. And the third example is Stand By Me, which has a nice bass line melody that stands out. Alright, and the third progression, which is 1, 5, 6, 4. Here's another list, 10 more songs. Use this progression, and I'll play another 3 examples from it. First one up is Demons by Imagine Dragons. And that uses a nice broken up melodic kind of pattern in the right hand. Second one is I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, which is more of a reggae kind of feeling almost, where the chords are played on the offbeats. And it ends there on a nice dominant 2 chord as a transition into another section. Alright, and third is a song probably from one of my favorite bands, Journey, Don't Stop Believing. And this uses a few elements. It uses a different voicing, a more open voicing, instead of using the closed chords like I've been playing on the others. It has this rocking style, right hand, and constant eighth notes. And again, this one uses a melody in the bass line that's really strong. The important thing I want you to remember is that many songs share the same or similar progressions while still sounding completely unique. As you continue learning songs, start listening for these individual elements, and over time it will help you hear music more clearly and make learning songs much easier. Alright, let's start practicing these progressions. There are 3 things I always want you to check in with. Can I play it? Can I hear her sing it? And do I understand it? Now, these don't come in any specific order, and you don't have to master one before moving on to the next. The goal is to just consistently work on all three so that they improve over time, little by little. We're going to use the 1-5-6-4 example here to practice, and we're going to stick to the key of C for simplicity. So for those of you who don't know how to come up with the chords that correlate to the number, it's pretty simple. You're just going to take your C major scale, which is all the white notes from C to C, and instead of thinking the letters, you're going to give them a number. So C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, and B is 7. Now we only need 4 of those numbers. So C is 1, G is 5, A is 6, and F is 4. Those are the notes we're going to use. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put those into the left hand. Those are the bass notes. So we have 1, 5, 6, 4. You're going to play it a couple times until your ear starts to get used to the sound. And then it's very important, I want you to start singing it. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. Now, you're going to sing in the range that's comfortable for you. You don't have to sing in the octave that you're playing, right? Sing wherever it's easy. And notice I went C down to G, but you can also go from C up to G, right? So the way you play the notes, there's no right or wrong way as long as you play the notes in that order. Okay, step 2. Now you're going to play the chords. So C is 1, you play a C chord. And just to kind of get an idea of some kind of rhythm, you can start thinking of counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, step 3 might be a little more challenging. You're going to play those chords again the same way, but now you're going to try to sing the bass notes. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1. Okay, now once you can do that, step 4 is you're going to put the hands together. You're going to play the chords with the bass note, and you can still sing the left hand numbers, but really important is just listening overall to the quality of the chords and how that progression sounds. You want your ear to kind of remember it as a grouping of chords so that it becomes recognizable in songs when you hear it. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1. If that feels pretty easy for you, then I want you to add some more rhythm in the right hand. You can change the chord every 2 beats or even on every quarter note. So I'll demonstrate that. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Don't worry if some of this feels challenging at first. Learning to recognize and understand chord progressions takes time. And the more you work with them, the more naturally you'll start hearing and understanding them in songs. In the next video, we'll talk about inversions and how to move between these chords much more smoothly. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss any future content. And for beginners who are looking for more personalized help, I'm currently opening a few one-on-one coaching spots at a special introductory rate. You can find more information in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.